Okay, this is Mr. Riddle's writing class, Lucrative Writing 101, Lesson 3, Pronouns. We're going to be talking a lot about the pronouns, pronoun usage, how it applies to the point of view in a story, things like that. We're even going to talk a little bit about affirmations and things of that sort in this lesson. Okay, and so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, let me go here. Here we go. Okay, first of all, what did you read today? Did you enjoy it? If not, you need to find something else. And so remember, you need to be reading every single day. When you read, it's putting those references in your mind, and it is, you need to do this. If you want to become a great writer, you need to read. Okay, reading is going to be, if you haven't been reading in your life, then this course is very good for you because you need to make it a practice to read. When we're learning how to write, of course, you need to have the references, so you need to actually read the pages. Other than that, you can go to Audible and listen to this stuff. Listen to the concepts, listen to all that, but when you're learning how to write, you need to see it. You need to see how it's done. See where the end punctuation is. See how the words are used on the page. See how the authors do it. And actually, in many cases, it's not even the authors. It's the editors who do a lot of the revising and stuff. Okay, so you need to do that. It's very important. Let's see. But just like I said, make sure that you're enjoying what you read. If not, find something else. What you tend to enjoy usually reflects your natural proclivities, and that's good. And that's where style is born. So when you're reading those things, those things that resonate with you, you need to read all those because you are going to be writing those kind of things if you're writing the right things. Okay? So anyway, let's go on. Now remember, mindset is essential to your success as a writer. Remember, I gave you guys this book. This is actually a very good book. This is written in the first person point of view. So I have just the various the authors, these successful people, the power affirmations from the wisdom of today's success masters. I'm jumping right in. I got Jack Dorsey right there, Chris Gardner right there, Dave Goggins right there. It's got quotes by them. Though these quotes are good for you. Just to read these kind of things every day, and then you have your first person point of view from the first person pronouns, basically telling you this is me. You're engrafting these concepts into your mind, into the references in your mind. All belief systems are built upon references. And all memory is built on references as well. And so when you are learning things, each thing that you put into your mind is a reference that will help mold your belief system. It'll mold the way you think about yourself, the way you think about others, the way you think about how successful you can be. That's all in the reference that you're placing within your mind. And so this is something that you should be using. You should be using this on a regular basis. The other books, are just whatever your genre is, whatever you are wanting to write, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, poetry, whatever it is, blogs. You need to read them on a regular basis and read those from successful people. Okay, so let's go on. It's time for parts of speech part 2, which is pronouns. A pronoun is a word used in the place of a noun to avoid awkward repetition. So I got this dog right here. This is old Sparky. Sparky dug a hole in the backyard. Sparky then retrieved Sparky's bone and tried to bury it. That's awkward. It's awkward repetition. It's better written and it's clearer and more concise by Sparky dug a hole in the backyard. He then retrieved his bone and tried to bury it. That being in third person. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, the antecedent is basically the noun that the pronoun is replacing. So Sparky is the antecedent for he and his. So you got Sparky here, he and his. Well, Sparky is the antecedent. Sparky is that original noun that these pronouns are talking about. So whenever I talk about antecedents, you know that that's what I'm talking about. Personal pronouns. So we got the first person, second person, third person. The first person pronoun is simply, and just look at me when I do this. First person pronoun is here. It's us. It's me. It's I. It's we. It's us. That's first person. And first person. A second person was basically on the other side. You. It's the person being spoken to. You. Yours. Yourself. You. Third person is them. He. Her. Them. Okay? So you got first person, second person, third person. That's the way that it works. And so a story's essay's point of view is based on pronoun usage. First person point of view is the person being spoken, there's the person speaking. The second person point of view is the person being spoken to. The third person point of view is the person being spoken about. Okay, so you got singular is I, you, her. Plural is us, you, yourselves, them. Let's go on. Reflexive and intensive pronouns. Well, those are pronouns that end in self or selves. It's like the first person would be myself, ourselves, ourselves. Okay? Of course, the second person would be yourself, yourselves. Third person would be himself, herself, itself, and so on. Okay? Themselves. Reciprocal pronouns refer to a plural or collective antecedent, such as the two students fell in love with each other. That's reciprocal, each other. The class discussed the topic with one another. Okay, this class here, see, students is plural, this is collective. This is collective. A class or a group or a, what other kind of collective pronouns or collective nouns there are. A church is collective. Let's see what else. A team is collective. So if you have a collective noun like team, then plural will be teams. Class, plural will be classes. So reciprocal pronouns refer to plural or collective antecedents. Let's move on. So then there's demonstrative pronouns. Now that directs attention to a specific person, place, or thing. It's like that one, those, over there, this, that. That is the place I want to go. In plural would be I want to travel to Italy and Spain. Those, demonstrative, those are my first choices. That's how that works. Let's move on. Now we're kind of breezing through this because all we're really trying to do here is we're getting you reacclimated to these words. Some of these we're not going to spend a whole lot of time practice. You're going to have your little quizzes and stuff like that. But I don't want you to feel like you have to memorize everything. That's not what this is about. This course is all about practice. It's about practice. It's about putting all this stuff into practice. Okay, relative pronouns that introduce they introduce an adjective clause and connects it to the antecedent that it modifies. Let me show you some of this. Okay, the relative pronouns are like that, which, who, whom, whose, such as this. We heard a song that. That's relative. That's a relative pronoun. We heard a song that Aerosmith sang back in 1973. See if you guys are any classic rock fans here. The person who, relative to who it is, the person who wrote it is a jazz musician named Tiny Bradshaw. The song, which is one of my favorites, was recorded on their second album. So I wonder how many people know which album that was. It's Aerosmith's second album. Let's Get Your Wings. The song that I'm talking about now, about Tiny Bradshaw, is Train Kept Rolling. So anyway, those are relative pronouns. Relative pronouns. Okay? Let's go on. There's interrogative pronouns. Who, which, who, whom, whose. It's like, who picked this movie? Okay, who? Whom shall we ask? Whose is this? Those are interrogative pronouns. Remember, whenever you're talking about interrogative, think of the term interrogate. What do you do when you interrogate? You ask questions. And so the interrogative pronouns are questions, the ones that form a question. So it's like who, which, who, whom, whose. Now, then there's indefinite pronouns. They're self-explanatory. It's indefinite. Another, everyone, nothing, anybody, everything, one, something. All these they're all indefinite. Both, few, many, others, any, more, most, none. These are all indefinite pronouns, but they're all pronouns. Now, here's the deal. Don't get overwhelmed by this. This is a very short lesson. Just going to have a little quiz after this. Very short lesson. Don't get overwhelmed. Remember, it's not about memorizing definitions. That's not what we're doing here. We're getting acclimated to all these things, and then we're going to apply them. This is about practice. Okay? So yeah, you use this stuff all the time. If you remember that he, she, it, they are pronouns, hey, you're going to be doing fine. So don't worry about, well, what's this called? This is an indefinite pronoun. Don't worry too much. That's what English teachers have to know. Those kind of things that I have to know. Generally, writers do not have to know and memorize that kind of stuff. And so if you're looking to become an English teacher or something, sure, you're going to have to go over these, but you're going to have to go in depth a little more with these. We're not doing that. We're just reacclimating ourselves to it. We good? Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Next, we will go to, I'm not sure where it is. I think we're going to verbs next.